right. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Happy Tuesday. Happy halfway to Hump Day. Got it out the first time this time. Hope you're all doing well. Gonna play some tunes for you here. So this will start off with a little "Ain't No Sunshine." Sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. Wonder this time where she's gone. She's going to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. I know, 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 I know. Yeah, I gotta leave this young thing alone, but ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This she's gone to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. I know, 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 I know. Yeah, I gotta leave this young thing alone, but ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Wonder this she's gone to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. 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 Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Tuesday morning here in southern Vermont. I hope that it's as pretty where you are as it is where I am. It's kind of nice that I get to look out at blue skies here, because over the weekend it was a very different temperature pattern. It was over this past weekend. It was something like I think the low temperature wise was like -22 here, and on Saturday, and then it started crawling its way back up. But yeah, that was an interesting day. But now it's beautiful. It's mid-20s, probably get up to 30 something and whatnot. But yeah, so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. And I hope that you're having a great day too. So that was Ain't No Sunshine. That is a song that I have been playing for years now. It's been Something like, God, I don't even know. It's been something, probably 15, 20 years that I've been playing that song. Oh, probably almost 20 years that I've been playing that song with my old band, since my old band Remedy. And that kind of became our standard go-to. And so it was a song that we always liked to play, and we did like this long jam session on it. And still now when I play it live, I've got all my pedals and devices and whatnot, and I kind of have it looping, and I get to do some jamming and have a lot of fun. But yeah. So anyway, that was Ain't No Sunshine. Different, obviously, as a solo on an acoustic than it is with a full band, or even my loop stations. But still a ton of fun to play. But yeah, so thanks for joining me here. This is, if you've been at some of these before, you know that this is kind of my time to, kind of share some music, share some stories about some of the songs that I like to play. So, and hopefully get to know you guys a little bit better, and hopefully you guys can get to know me a little bit better too. So this is next song here is a song that I wrote a while ago when I was getting ready to go into the studio, my first time ever. I was trying to round out an album, and I kind of very hastily wrote down 2 songs, both of which I'm going to play today, that weren't really great with on the first recording, but over the course of the years I've played with them a bit and made them some tunes that I really enjoy. So this song is called Better Days. I remember growing up, sweet 16, she was the finest young girl that I ever had seen. Finally got the courage to ask her out to eat. She said, well, okay, but how about a movie instead? 2 years later, she sat me down and cried. She said, I just can't keep this love alive. And I hugged her and said, well, I guess I'll go. Then I saw her just the other day. I swear my voice, it just gave me away. Thinking about all the things that might have been, and taking me back to some better days. These little things, they all remind me that some things just might have been. And sometimes I think I see that those days just might have been better days. A few years later, time was sure flown by. Another young girl, she caught my eye. She said, hey you, why don't you sing me a song? Maybe some Simon and Garfunkel or the Grateful Dead. Who knows, I might even sing along. Well, we really hit it off, but we moved too fast. I should have known it just wouldn't last. She said, well, you're leaving, so I'm gonna go. But then I saw her just the other day. I swear my voice, it just gave me away. Think about all those things that might have been. Take me back to some better days. These little things, they all remind me So that was Better Days. That song I wrote kind of, this was long before my wife and I got together, and I wrote this song about a couple girlfriends that I had over the course of the years prior, and I had moved to San Diego, and I was going back and forth back to Rochester, and had a great time, and but I got to see, and while I was going back to Rochester, and I was having a blast and playing music and doing all these things, I'd run into some of the girls that I had dated back then, and that was the kind of mindset behind that song, and so it's a fun song to think back on. Obviously now life is significantly less chaotic and much more pleasant. I don't have to worry about running into old girlfriends anymore, and I appreciate that about my life now. But it was a time in my life, and it was a lot of fun. So, anyway, Jessica, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm assuming that Jessica that's your name. That's what I'm seeing in the comments here. But I appreciate it, and I agree with you. By the way, I didn't see the note about the acoustic on Ain't No Sunshine until after I started playing the other one. But I do agree that I think that it's really cool on just a straight up acoustic song. It's just a great tune. So. Anyway, this, by the way, if you've been here before, you may, or have seen any of my live videos before, you may have seen that, you may have noted that, this is a different background yet again. And I mentioned last week on the Facebook edition of Halfway to Hump Day that I was going to be creating a little kind of poor man's isolation studio, if you will. Put up. It's basically a blanket fort for musicians. But set up this whole the little PVC piping here and some blankets to kind of hopefully isolate the sound a little bit better and keep the echo down a little bit. So hopefully it sounded a little bit better than it has been in the past. But always trying to make it. Just to make it sound better, make it a little bit more effective to sound good here. So, anyway, this next song is called Melissa. This is by the Allman Brothers. Crossroads seem to come and go. Yeah, the gypsy flies from coast to coast, knowing many loving none. They're in sorrow, having fun, but back home they'll always run to sweet Melissa. Freight train, each car looks the same, all the same. Gypsy's name. No one hears his lonely sighs. There are no blankets where he lies. In his deepest dreams, the gypsy flies without Melissa. On the run, sunbeam shining through his hair, appears not to have a care. Pick up your gear and gypsy, roll on, roll Lord, Lord, will you hide the dead man's ghost? Or will he lie beneath the plains? Or will his spirit fall away? But back home I'll always stay with sweet Melissa. Yes, I know he won't stay without Melissa. You know, it's one of those songs that still to this day always just puts a smile on my face. Just a great tune, great slow tune, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful guitar progression too. It's one of my absolute favorite guitar progressions of all time. It's funny, the first time that I did one of these, I had a bunch of my friends who came on, and thank you so much, by the way, for the applause. I really appreciate that. The first time I did one of these, I had a friend come on, and she and my wife were texting back and forth while they were watching it. And when I started playing Melissa, she goes, "Oh, Melissa!" I'm like, "Who doesn't love that song?" But apparently there are people that don't like that song. So, but it's still one of my favorites. Still reminds me of high school and discovering the Allman Brothers and kind of discovering all this. Allman Brothers, Led Zeppelin, The Doors, Billy Joel, all these artists that my dad was loved and bought their CDs, and bought a bunch of them that my mom loved, like Hendrix, and my mom was a big Peter, Paul and Mary fan and whatnot, and it's so it always brings me back to that time, and of course stealing my dad's CDs to throw in my six disc CD changer in my car, which was always. There was always that kind of, not tension between us because of it, but there was always that, like, where are my CDs now? They're in my car, Dad. Sorry, I'll go get them. Anyway, this song is a song that I wrote. This is called My American Dream. And for those of you who are in kind of the southern Vermont area, Dover, Wilmington, Newfane, etc., this Deerfield Valley area, if you will, I play every week at the Last Chair, every Wednesday at the Last Chair. So if you want to come see me, I'd love to see you there. But I played this song, and there was a couple who were visiting from New Jersey who were sitting at the table in front of me, and after I played it, they're like, "Hey, who did that? Who did that song?" I'm like, "Oh, that's actually one of mine." It's and I told them a little bit about it, and they said, "Oh, I thought it was a Bruce Springsteen song that I hadn't heard before." I'm like, "Wow, that's a huge compliment." So I really appreciated that. So this is called My American Dream. An old pickup wheel and an open road, the warm sun shining wherever we go. Watch the road disappear as the days go by. The windows down, moving into the night. This is my American dream. It's my American dream. A life completely different than the one next to me. Working 9-to-5 job for the minimum wage. Ain't got a lot of money, but the mortgage mortgage gets paid. Got my kids and my wife, and God to keep me whole. I don't need much, got all I ask for. This is my American dream. It's my American dream. Life completely different than the one next to me. Somewhere on the road tonight, someone's about to drive by. Someone looking different, and he thinks he's not living right. Never felt right in his own skin, this world that he's living in. We're all too quick to judge him. No one knows where he's been. Out on the road tonight, when the lights flash by, I'm gazing in the moonlight. Why can't I live my life? I got my hands on the wheel. When he flashes his light, not causing any trouble. Just wanna make it home tonight. This is my American dream. It's my American dream. Life completely different than the one next to me. This is my American dream. It's my American dream. Life completely different than the one next to me. Oh, Jessica, thank you so much. Yeah, that was my American dream. That's like I said, that was, it's a song that I wrote a while back. I was, you may have heard me talk about this before, but I was listening to the podcast with Barack Obama and Bruce Springsteen, the kind of conversations between the two of them. And, they were talking about the American dream, and I started thinking a little bit about what my definition of the American dream was, and then what someone else's definition is completely different from mine, right? So what someone else thinks of as their dream, as their American dream, is a completely different experience than what mine is. And likewise, someone else's and someone else's and someone else's. And it's all, the term perception is reality seems to never ring more true than when I was kind of thinking through this idea. Excuse me. And it occurred to me that, for some people, and I started thinking about kind of that idea, and, some people are, like me when I was in my 20s. I had a 98 Jeep Wrangler. I'd throw the top down, jump on the road, and just drive and do road trips. And, I had the wind in my hair and just drive all day and into the night. And that was my dream. That was everything that I wanted from, my America at the time. And, but at the same time, there's someone else, that in one of the towns that I would drive through, for example, who's making minimum wage, has 3 kids, a wife, goes to church every Sunday, and is just, that's all he wants, right? And then there are some people who just want to know that the life that they're living is valid. Some people that just want to make it home at the end of the day, and so there's so many different aspects to this American dream that we talk about. And I feel like we've gotten lost in this kind of like, well, this is the American dream. It's a house, a white picket fence, 2.3 kids, a dog and a family, and that's not necessarily the case for everybody. And this was kind of my, I guess, meditation on that, if you will. It was a way that I was able to kind of, think through that a little bit. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. And I appreciate the kind words, that the message is awesome, that is the goal, that I'm glad that I was able to convey that. So thank you for that. This next song is another one of mine called Nothing Wrong. Dry land. Someday, finally see. I just had to set you free. And I know there's nothing wrong with me, even though that's all you'll ever see when you look into my eyes. My life is an open book. You'll never find out till you use what you took. Someday you'll finally see. I just had to set you free. And I know there's nothing wrong with me, even though that's all you'll ever see when you look into my eyes. It's plain to see it's all you'll ever be, but I know I'll get by. And I know there's nothing wrong with me, even though that's all you'll ever see when you look into my eyes. And I know there's nothing wrong with me, even though that's all you'll ever see when you look into my eyes. Into my eyes. Oh, so that song, and you'll excuse me, I'm gonna take a sip here and wet the whistle. That song was one that I wrote about, it's about what you would expect it to be about, right? It was about an ex-girlfriend. It was about people that had, I had this. When I was living back in Rochester and I was performing a lot and whatnot, I mean, there were people who, had thoughts about me, thoughts about the way that I live my life, thoughts about the way that, people that I was spending time with, et cetera, et cetera. And, I kind of developed this whole, screw the haters kind of a mentality, excuse me, because, they don't know my life, right? They don't know what I'm doing, and so that nothing wrong. We've all been there, exactly right. It's people are all too quick to judge, right? To do a callback to a line in American Dream too. It's we're all too quick to judge, and we are, we need to live our lives, right? I mean, and we need to be okay being ourselves, and it's I know it, Jessica. Just seeing your haters and jealous trolls, that is all too true. And it's if there's sometimes we have to protect ourselves from that, and in doing so, we have to remind ourselves that 9 times out of 10, it's not me, it's them, and that's okay. There's always that one time that you have to kind of be reflective and and admit that you may have done something wrong too, but more often than not, the people that are just kind of coming down on you are the ones that exactly, haters and trolls. That's it. So anyway, that's what that song says. That's kind of the mindset behind that song. This next song is the first song that I wrote after getting back into songwriting. This is called 2 a.m. and it's got a lot of meaning to me because it's the first song that I wrote when I kind of realized, hey, I could probably actually do this. This is not just something for somebody else. This is not something that other people should be doing that are better than I am or what have you. This is actually something that I can do. And so this song has kind of stayed with me, and it's something that it's a song that a lot of people have actually kind of taken to. So this one is called 2 a.m. I stare into my broken dreams and those promises left behind. This is the day I know I'm ready for more, but all my thoughts just keep on falling to the floor. Wish I could make them stay, I haven't got a clue, but all my thoughts just keep running back to you. Gone to bed. I step back to my real life and I can't find the cure for all those mistakes of my yesterdays and all that's gone before. How can I keep from falling back to you? You meant so much to me, I know you felt it too. Give me a reason just gone to bed. So I used to, a lot of times when I'm introducing that song, depending on the crowd, I'll say, this one's for anyone who ever sent a drunk text. Because that line, it's 2 a.m. and I should have just gone to bed, is poignant to some of us who realize that, we probably should have had their phones taken away after 2 a.m. But I appreciate the kind words. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the applause and the relatability aspect of it is something that's really important because as a songwriter, we we like to. Obviously we like to write songs, and me personally, I like to write songs that tell stories in some way, shape, or form, and because it's the way that I get to connect with people. I tell stories to connect with people, and if you ask some of my friends and most of my family, they'll tell you that I tell too many stories or just kind of get really long-winded. And if nothing else, songwriting is a way for me to get a story just down to contained into like 3.5 minutes. But anyway, this song is called Sunny Tea. Right through me, with just one flash of that smile. I hate to see you go, but you look so good walking away. I don't know just what you do to me. There's something about you. Get me drunk on sunny tea. Hold up there, give me one last word. I don't mean to stare, but I can't take my eyes off that. I'll see you again, but you'll be sitting there like some kind of friend. I don't know just what you do to me. There's something about you. Get me drunk on sunny tea. I just want to see you one last time, and maybe find a way to ease my mind. I don't know just what you do to me. There's something about you. Get me drunk on sunny tea. I don't know just what you do to me. There's something about you. Get me drunk on sunny tea. Oh, well, that was Sunny T. That was another one of my original tunes that I wrote a long time ago. Um, Excuse me, lost my pick. So I wrote that song for a friend of mine. There's this girl that I knew that was the bartender at this bar that I DJ'd at, and thank you very much for the applause, by the way. There's a girl that I knew at this bar that I was DJing at, and I got to know her, and she's pretty cool people, and just she was an awesome person, and we kind of became, I don't know, loose friends, something like that. Not nothing too crazy, but we were friendly. We would hang out together when we were at the bar. And there was one time when she was talking about herself, and like for whatever reason we were talking about relationships and whatnot. And it was funny because she's like, yeah, every guy just loves my butt, and I'm like, okay, awkward, but sure, fine. That's great. She's like, you should write a song about it, and so of course, we both laughed and walked away from it. But then the next morning, I'm like, wonder if I could actually do that. I wonder if I could write a song about about such a strange and specific topic. And so I started playing around with it, and I'm like, this is kind of a fun song. But yeah, so it was, that song was inspired by that conversation. I'm not going to say it's inspired by a butt, but it was inspired about the conversation that I had with her that to this day still cracks me up. So anyway, hey, listen, thank you. I really appreciate you being here, and you kind of joining me here today. It's really, this is a lot of fun for me. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and so being able to get on here and kind of tell my stories and kind of play for an hour and whatnot. I do these once a week. We flip flop between YouTube and Facebook. So this week is YouTube, next week will be Facebook. If you're following me on Facebook, then you'll see I make sure to go to do a quick kind of 2-minute long live notification before I go live, on whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, to let you know where I am. But it's every Tuesday at 10 a.m. right now. We're kind of testing out this time. There's a kind of a way to start your day, kind of a deal. But also putting together an email list, and in that email list, it'll tell you, putting together an email community where we're kind of trying our best to build a community around what we're doing here, and and the music that I'm writing, and hopefully that's connecting with others. And so I would love if you would you join that. It'll tell you where I'm playing over the course. It's once a month that I'm sending out an email. And it'll tell you where I'm playing in the coming month. It'll give you same channel name on Facebook. So it's at officially Ian Campbell is the channel name on Facebook too. So everything, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. My website is officiallyiancampbell.com. But you can also click on the link in the description here, the description of this video, which will take you to kind of my Linktree page. Which is kind of a one page with all my different links on it, and there you can sign up for you can join the email community, get signed up on that. You can click. It'll have links to all my social profiles. You can follow me on bands in town to kind of see where I'm playing. Right now I'm playing mostly in and around the New England area. I'm playing a lot here in Deerfield Valley, in southern Vermont. Have some shows coming up in Montpelier and the the Stowe area pretty soon too. Playing in Boston, playing in eastern New York, and down in the capital region and whatnot. So definitely, if you want to kind of keep an eye on what I'm doing, check out that Linktree page. There's, like I said, the link is in my bio. You can join the email community, get signed up, follow on all the things, and all that sort of stuff. So that'll be the only pitch that I have for you this time around, I promise. So this song, this song is actually a song that I just finished writing about a week and a half ago. just finished writing it, and I am currently in the process of recording it. So that I can release it out to the streaming channels here in the next few weeks. But this song is called "Easy to Fall For," and after I recorded it, I just did a quick acoustic demo version of it on a video and posted it up to Facebook and Insta and whatnot, and said, "Hey, listen, this is a new song I just finished. What are your thoughts? Let me know what you think." And ended up with a lot of great feedback off of it, which was really cool for me. And so this is "Easy to Fall For," and it's, like I said, it's a brand new song. There was a time before you came around when it all seemed so simple. My life was so buttoned down. You stole a glance, threw a wrench in my plans. Now it seems like my next move is in someone else's hands. You were easy to fall for, hard to let go. I just wanted you to need me more than you'll ever know. That's not how it's meant to be. Still this memory of you just won't leave. You were easy to fall for and hard to let go. There was a time I thought I'd seen it all. There was no way to get through all those walls around my soul. But just one look at you and everything changed. I thought I'd found someone carry my flame. You were easy to fall for and hard to let go. I just wanted you to need me more than you'll ever know. That's not how it's meant to be. Still this memory of you just won't leave. Easy to fall for and hard to let go. Now that you're out of my life, every thought of you cuts like a knife. Every time I walk out the door, it feels like a roll of the dice. 'Cause I don't think I can take anymore. Here before and I swore that I'd never feel this again. But here I am down on the floor. You were easy to fall for, hard to let go. I just wanted you to need me more than you'll ever know. That's not how it's meant to be. Still this memory of you just won't leave. You were easy to fall for, hard to let go. Hard to let go. Thank you very much, Jessica. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's that. It is. It's a really cool song. if I do say so myself. I just realized what that sounded like. It's a cool song to play. It was a fun song to write. I mentioned, excuse me, that, that was, well, I've got past relationships like we all do. I'm very happily married now, and have a great family and all that good stuff. But it was a fun song to write because it pulled me back into, like, I kept kind of jumping back into some of the melancholy after relationships end. And for a songwriter, that's some of the most powerful times to be to kind of focus on, because so much of our songs do come from some of those very reflective times. And so that was obviously those were some of those really reflective times that I would end up, really kind of evaluating myself after these relationships. Who am I? What was it about this girl that I liked? What was it that went wrong? How do I make it better in the future? Those types of things, things that a lot of people don't think about after the ends of relationships. But for whatever reason, I did. And I remember having a conversation with this one ex-girlfriend of mine in particular, and telling her, this after all the heartbreak and the I never want to talk to you again and all that sort of stuff, But we were talking about it, and just having a very frank conversation about our relationship. And I remember telling her, I'm like, listen, you were easy to fall for, and I was, and I did, and and just, obviously that meant a lot to her. Yes. But yeah, so that meant a lot to her, but it was all that memory flashed back into my mind for some reason not too long ago. And I'm like, that would make for a great song lyric. And I started exploring it, and this is kind of the stuff that came out of it. But yeah, so thank you very much for the kind words. I appreciate. I do appreciate that you enjoyed it. Yeah. So anyway, speaking of my wife, I've played enough songs about other women that have been in my life in the past. This is a song that I wrote for her. We had our son, Quinn, March 9th of 2020. So he was 6 days old when the world shut down, when everything went into quarantine, and, we had some of the wildest times in my memory, that really definitely a different point in life. But when I remember, one of the benefits of that time for me anyway was that I got the chance to really see a lot of things as a dad that most dads don't. I got to watch my wife mother our son, and in very up close, in very close quarters, because we were in we were in a big apartment, but it was still an apartment that we had back in Denver, and so I got a chance to see her, and to kind of to see the way that she was doing it. And I just stood there in the doorway, and this is actually a line from the song. Stood there in the doorway of the nursery, watching her nurse our son, and realized, man, motherhood does look good on her. And again, like a lot of things in my life, I thought to myself, that's a good line for a song. So this is a song for my wife that I wrote for her first Mother's Day, called "Motherhood Looks Good on You." When I first heard the news, I didn't know what to say. Didn't know where we'd go. Didn't know how our lives would change. But I couldn't imagine this with anyone other than you. feels, all those things I never know. Your love saw me through the uncertainty it never showed, and I still can't believe that I'm as lucky as this. And you've always been a beauty, and I know this one thing's true: motherhood sure looks good on you. With all of the things we still have yet to come, I'm thrilled just to know that we've just begun. Our lives have just begun. I'm standing here staring at our baby and you. And I still can't believe how this could all be true. And you've always been a beauty, and I know this one thing's true. Yeah, you've always been a beauty, and I know this one thing's true. Motherhood sure looks good on you. Well, thank you so much for the compliments. I really do appreciate that. You know, this is obviously this is a song that means a lot to me and means a lot to Lindsay. Quinn doesn't know enough about it for it to mean a lot to him yet, but it is definitely a song that means. That's really impactful for me, you know. So it was fun to play, and I don't get to play it often because it is you know, when I play out, it's one of those slower songs, and those typically aren't the songs that you play. But again, this will be coming up on the streaming platforms, probably sometime in March, I believe. Is probably towards the end of March, but yeah. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to wrap it up with that. I really do appreciate you spending a little bit of your Tuesday morning with me, and chatting with me on the chat here too. This is I want to encourage everybody else who's watching these live streams. You know, I love interacting on the chat, and I know it takes my attention away from the camera because I got to do this, but you know, it's I love interacting with the chat, and so definitely keep chatting here, and I really appreciate you being here with me. If you're not subscribed here to YouTube yet, definitely do that too, because we do post we post new videos every week, and you know, from covers and all sorts of stuff. So so definitely subscribe on YouTube if you're not there yet, and I am looking forward to seeing you next week. Again, next week we'll be on Facebook Live, so go check that out, and I will see you then. Until then, God bless you. Have a great night. Bye. By the way, that was weird. I'm sorry. I don't know what I did. All of a sudden, I went back into high school. I just realized that just hit me in the head. But seriously, thank you very much. Have a great day. Cheers.